I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Vanuatu. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa, and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, PAFCO says the sinking of MV Sullivan will result in a shortage of canned tuna for Fiji. More than 300 drivers fined in 4 days. And Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama calls for early resolution to negotiations to economic partnership agreement. But first, in a major breakthrough, FBC News has today obtained numerous email correspondence that have sparked investigations into a plot to destabilize Fiji. FBC News can reveal tonight that some local and overseas anti-government elements have been allegedly corresponding frequently about their plans to assassinate members of government and an opposition member. It's a plot so murky that even the police themselves are now allegedly being investigated. Eleanor Turangaivu with this ongoing exclusive.
Copies of emails which were allegedly obtained by an internet shop owner in Lautoka after a customer left his email open have been obtained by FBC News. His emails were passed on to the police by the shop owner, but instead of thanking him, Rajneel Singh says the police turned on him violently.
It is one case that I'm very interested in, especially with conversations in those emails targeting prominent people and destabilization of government. So it's something that I will be briefed on as we progress.
One of the emails obtained by FBC News, dated August 28, 2015, reveal an alleged assassination plot. It says that a shipment would arrive on a certain date. The actual dates are coded, as well as the names of people and places involved. The email says someone, codenamed 149125198, would arrange for officers, while the recipient of the email would arrange for the manpower to carry out the attack. It says the attack should take place during a parliamentary sitting. It gives clear orders to shoot all members and also to shoot an opposition member, codenamed 2913114. The email says all should be dead. The correspondence also talks about how cash for the operation should be handled and how the attackers should spread out on an island after the attack. Another email titled Change of Plans revealed that an earlier plot devised to take place in September did not eventuate. It claims that some military and police are on the side of the plotters. The writer also acknowledges that some emails have been leaked from a shop and gives orders that the shop be taken to task or its contents to be taken or damaged. It's believed the shop mentioned may be the shop of Rajneel Singh, who claims police officers assaulted him some days after he came across the emails in his internet shop. The email also talks about the movement of $150,000. The receiver of the email is also asked to take out all Indians and Muslims from the officers' group that the plotters have allegedly arranged. Meanwhile, the police commissioner has stopped making comments on the issue, while police from Suva and military investigate this matter. Rajneel Singh is still recovering, and the question on his mind remains: why did the police, whom he thought he was helping, allegedly turn on him with threats and then later with violence? Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
People can expect a shortage of canned tuna from Pacific Fishing Company in the next few weeks due to the sinking of MV Sullivan. PAFCO chairperson Iqbal Janif says they lost 4 containers of canned tuna, which was meant for local supply. Ellen Stolz reports.
On its final voyage, the MV Sullivan was returning from Levuka carrying canned tuna meant for local supermarket shelves and some for export.
25 containers of processed frozen loins, 4 containers of canned products, the various brands that PAFCO sells.
Iqbal Janif says PAFCO won't be able to meet demand for canned tuna until the end of the year.
It affects PAFCO mainly in the local market. Products that should have been on the shelves early December are now at the bottom of the sea.
Meanwhile, an investigation has begun into the sinking of the MV Sullivan. FBC News has asked Permanent Secretary for Transport, Commander Keane, about the seaworthiness of the vessel.
The ship had departed from Ovalau on its way to Suva before this very unfortunate incident happened. So I believe the relevant coastal trading license was valid in order for her to clear Levuka port.
A team of divers from the Fiji Navy was deployed last night but couldn't take photographs of the wreck due to rough seas. The Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji is advising all vessel operators to stay clear of the sunken vessel.
As to emergency response of the ship, I think that's something that the inquiry will investigate and look into and to come up with their findings and recommendations.
The government shipping services remains on standby to assist in the removal of any floating cargo. Commander Keane says it will take some time to complete investigations and be in a position to say what exactly caused the incident. Until then, it's a waiting game. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Ellen Stalls joins us now. Ellen, I understand the Navy has been back to the wreckage since Tuesday just to ensure that people are keeping well away. Have people been getting too close to the location of the sinking?
Yes, Jackie, we know that the movements of ships in the Suva harbour is being closely monitored by the Fiji Navy as well as the Fiji Ports Corporation. We know that the location of the MV Sullivan sunken ship has also been known, and the coordinates have been sent to mariners so that they can stay clear of this area. We also know that last night the Fiji Navy took out 2 teams, a team of divers as well as a team of hydrographers, to try and take photos of the sunken vessel, but this was unsuccessful because of the rough seas. And lastly, some good news, Jackie. Mariners can be reassured that the passage in and out of Suva is clear. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that update, Ellen. The long-standing impasse over the Economic Partnership Agreement needs to be settled once and for all, says Prime Minister Vorenke Bainimarama. Addressing the African, Caribbean and Pacific Council of Ministers in Belgium this week, Bainimarama says the EPA holds the key for development in ACP countries. The EPA was to be in effect in 2012, but 3 years down the line, negotiations continue.
The Economic Partnership Agreement has become a contentious issue between the ACP and the European Union. Although an interim agreement has been signed, the final deal has been repeatedly delayed due to disagreements over fisheries conservation.
Because of this impasse, the Pacific ACP states are effectively the only ACP states left without a comprehensive EPA. Or as some of my officials describe it, we are EPA orphans. And from our standpoint, we are being unfairly disadvantaged and our development impeded.
The European Union says negotiations on a comprehensive EPA can't be concluded without a review of fisheries conservation in Pacific ACP countries. Prime Minister Vorenke Bainimarama says this should not stand in the way of a full agreement, as the intention of the Economic Partnership Agreement is to continue historical trading relations.
It is all about development. And when one region misses out because the negotiations are dragging on for too long, it obviously has an adverse effect on nations such as Fiji.
Bainimarama has called for a high-level ministerial meeting between the Pacific ACP countries and the EU to settle the impasse once and for all. He also wants EU commissioners and officials in Belgium to assist in facilitating a speedy resolution. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, Stock Exchange wants more businesses to go public.
टिकरी मदर्स क्लब की रोहिणी कुमार हूँ और रेडियो फिजी 2 की मैं बड़ी दीवानी हूँ।
मेरा नाम राम है, मैं लटोका में रहता हूँ और जस्ती करके मैं रेडियो फिजी 2 सुन रहा हूँ।
हाय, मैं हूँ आइना नाभुआ टाउन से। नाभुआ में रेडियो फिजी 2 सबकी पसंद।
मेरा नाम अश्विन है, मैं रेगरेकी में टैक्सी का व्यापार करता हूँ और ज़्यादातर हम लोग रेगरेकी में रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनते हैं।
हमारा नाम रोशनी है, मैं टावा टाउन से बात कर रही हूँ। मुझे रेडियो फिजी बहुत पसंद है।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Police have charged more than 360 motorists since Operation Tatarovi began 4 days ago. Director Traffic SSP Mahesh Mishra says the joint operation with the Land Transport Authority is in response to the careless attitude of some drivers as we head into the festive season. Maggie Boyle with this report.
3 days of Operation Tatarovi and more than 300 traffic violations have been recorded. Police Director Traffic SSP Mahesh Mishra says speeding remains the biggest cause of road fatalities.
Sorry to say that we are still recording the highest number of booking on speeding cases. That was 193, non-compliance on seat belt 22, we had careless driving recorded 6, carrying excess passengers 11, and other operations 136. Now again it's boiled down to our driver attitude, that one of the major factor that is now challenging us is the driver attitude.
Mishra says even while the authorities are as vigilant as they can be, the onus is on the public to be more responsible.
We need the support and cooperation of all our motorists. Why the police and LTA are on the road? What is the reason? It's not there to get the drivers or to get many bookings. What we are concerned about is their safety, and all what we are doing is to see that how safe our road users are, and also to reduce the road fatalities on our Fiji roads.
The month-long Operation Tatarovi is expected to end on the 23rd of December. Police and LTA officers are out on the roads, catching people speeding, not wearing seatbelts, driving dangerously, or any other form of traffic violation. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Violence against women and children is not only costing the country economically, but has a negative impact on society. Government ministers and representatives from non-government organizations spoke at length on the impact of violence against women as part of the 16 days of activism for the elimination of gender-based violence. Ritika Pratap reports.
Trade Minister Fayaz Koya says there is a big price to pay for violence against women, as survivors of violence are forced off work due to emotional or physical injuries or stigma.
Now, statistics from the Reserve Bank of Fiji shows that the direct and indirect cost of violence against women is approximately 210.69 million per year, which is roughly 7% of the GDP. That is phenomenal.
Koya says due to violence, societies are left poorer and children are neglected, which results in children repeating classes or becoming school dropouts. Fiji Women's Crisis Center Coordinator Shamima Ali says people always talk about political and economic development of women or empowerment of women, but the question that needs to be asked is what stops this from happening.
And the coercive control is there might not be any physical or sexual violence, but there is a lot of control on her socially, who she socializes with, whether she continues with an education, whether she can go out to work, whether she can continue with a career, and things like that, you know.
The government says it's working on successfully implementing the national gender policy, and Women's Minister Rosie Akbar has asked Fijians to work hand in hand with them.
We are at this time designing a set of tools for managing the changes that the national gender policy is setting out to achieve. The implementation of this national whole-of-government policy is not just the job of my ministry. No, implementation of this policy is all our responsibility.
The cost of violence against women has been estimated at $700 million. The launch of the 16 days of activism coincided with the panel discussion on violence against women, the cost of Fiji. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The stock exchange market is vibrant with demand, but there aren't enough companies listed to cater for the ever-increasing investors. The South Pacific Stock Exchange has organized a forum of some big companies to try and encourage more public listings. Ali Kimbia has more.
According to the South Pacific Stock Exchange, for every 10 buyers, there are 7 sellers on the local stock market.
This is a clear indication that people and institutions are seeking good return investments, but there are not enough companies listed on the market in which these investors can buy shares from.
SPSC chairperson Dr. Nurbano Ali says there is potential in the stock market if Fijian business agree to go public. She adds that listing on the stock exchange brings good returns for companies through cash injection from new shareholders.
Key market indicators depict improved market confidence, and as such, gestures that any new company with attractive prospects willing to float its shares may find a ready base of investors willing to take up the offer.
SPSC Chief Executive Latileta Ngoro says companies will need to be well informed before deciding to list on the stock market.
A lot of questions raised about the incentives and how long they will last and when government will pull it out. So we hope to get some clarity, because only when we get clarity and there's a lot of information that they can absorb, then they can make the decision to list.
The South Pacific Stock Exchange is currently working with 2 companies who are interested to be listed and are looking to register more companies. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The much-anticipated locally shot and cast TV series Spice of Life premieres straight after this newscast. It's a comical show that promotes local talent, filmmaking, and above all, local language. Ellen Stahls has more.
No, that fellow on big conman.
It's a TV series that was scripted, filmed, and put together right here in Fiji and supported by the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation.
Today is a very exciting day for Fbctv. We are going to premiere our first ever trilingual comedy show. The show is based on everyday lives around the people of Fiji, and it is very exciting, and Fbctv is very committed to giving the best in entertainment and education program.
Elisabesi Fanua is one of the cast and feels that the Spice of Life can also showcase strong female characters.
Female roles in Spice of Life are, most of them are very strong female characters, and I think that's really nice to see in television. People will love it when it actually comes out. I think they'll be able to relate to a lot of the scenes, and I do hope that it takes Fiji by storm, because it's pretty great.
The local cast and crew are sure to get you laughing and thinking that's so Fijian. For Salaniata Vakalala, her first choice was graphic arts, but she's not complaining now that she's rubbing shoulders with some local celebrities.
Meeting up with Mano Aratanismetale, which I used to see him on Utnialo, and some actors as well. Those are the big opportunities I get to meet up with stars.
Season 1 of Spice Your Life has 7 episodes and is sure to pave the way for more local productions supporting Fijian talent. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening in sports after the break. Fiji men's and women's sevens teams depart for opening leg of World 7 Series. And Fiji Under20 rugby side out to reclaim spot in Tier 1 competition. These stories and more coming up.
Iya mbula bina tangu peli untuk taliten lapor ng mbula FM na bu.
Nambon tuan tinangan mbula FM no sur. Mbula FM nambon tuan ser.
Mbula sia puni bagu lambasa na ko bila meritivi mbula FM nambon tuan ser talita itu ngai lambas.
Mbula FM nambon 2 and ser.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team will bank on experience to lead the charge at the Dubai Sevens next week and kick off the new season on a high. Josephine Avula caught up with the team today and files this report.
All set to go, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens players are going into the Dubai Sevens with only one mission.
No use going there if we are just going to participate and not win, because we train to win. So we're looking forward to the challenge this week. We know it's gonna be tougher now because teams are gonna be well prepared.
Kolinisau adds the experienced players will play a huge role in guiding the team and defending the World Series title.
The inclusion of Nemani and having experience in the team really boosts the team and the strength of the team. It's always good to have experience because you cannot buy experience.
The captain adds that while the training may not be over for now, he still has to make sure the team is focused and thinking as one when it runs onto the field.
I'm just trying and get the boys focused and have everybody on the same page that when the tournament comes around that we are firing on all cylinders.
Fiji will meet Canada in its first pool match of the Dubai Sevens at 6 p.m. next Friday. Josephina Vula, FBC Sports.
Telecom Fijiana captain Ana Maria Rongida is on a high going into the Dubai Sevens next week, having bagged the spot in the 2016 Rio Olympics. Rongida is confident the Fijiana has what it takes to win the opening tournament of the World 7 Series. Josephina Vula again with this report.
The Fijiana squad is living with its sights firmly set on making a strong outing in Dubai. The players have been working on weaknesses which cost them a win last year.
The girls have been working so hard for this Dubai because last year Dubai we end up in plate final but we lost. This year our aim is to get in the quarterfinal.
As Captain Rongida is aware of her team's capabilities and believes they can do better than the recent win at the Oceania Sevens.
I want to get in the final because we've been preparing for the last 8 weeks and our game in New Zealand was a bit different from the other series that we went to last year. And I know the girls are getting their fitness and some skills.
Like any national team, the Fijiana too is calling on the public to continue to back them up.
To the supporters, we just need your prayers and support in Dubai, and to our families and friends, because it's not only for us, it's for Fiji.
The Dubai Sevens is next Thursday and Friday. Josephina Vula, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Under20 rugby side is on the road to redemption. The junior flying Fijians are seeking a return to the top-tier Junior World Championship, and its journey starts with the Oceania qualifiers tomorrow. Charlie Ndadakadaka has more.
The Fiji side was relegated to the second tier of the Junior World Trophy this year after a poor performance in 2014. The team finished in second last spot and was relegated to the second tier in Portugal earlier this year.
Because of the game that is just a little bit over 24 hours away, normally we would feel the pressure, building and mounting. And I know all other teams are also facing the same situation. But since day one, we had been discussing this, we had been talking about it. So I think by now the boys knows exactly the responsibilities and what we would expect them as of tomorrow.
The side needs to win the Oceania qualifiers and finish in first place in the Junior World Trophy in Zimbabwe next year to return to top flight rugby.
Of course, to the public, I know rugby is a sport that we love nationally. The boys would really love our support to come down to the ground tomorrow at 5. They need our cheering, they need our moral support, and we're hoping we would meet there and then people will come in number and then the boys would also deliver.
You could see the determination on the faces of the young ruggers as they set out to improve the national side's current standings, and it all begins tomorrow. Chalendo Takadaka, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Vanuatu Under20 rugby side arrived in the country late last night for the Oceania Rugby Trophy tournament. With rugby being a minor sport in Vanuatu, the team looks forward to the exposure it will receive at the tournament. Team manager Daryl Simon says the players have been preparing well for the past couple of weeks and are ready to deliver their best performance.
We've been training for the last couple of months. Rugby is not a big sport in Vanuatu, but we've managed to pull this team together and come over to Fiji to compete in this tournament.
The Oceania Junior Rugby Trophy tournament will kick off tomorrow at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. The winner will join Samoa in qualifying for the Junior World Trophy in Zimbabwe next year. The Northern Rumble boxing promotion will see upcoming boxer Sebastian Singh take on Waisale Ratu in the main supporting bout. Singh has had a good record locally and overseas and looks set to continue this form as he encounters his first fight in the North.
I reckon it's a good fight for me to test myself and see my caliber if I belong amongst the elite in the country. Because I got to prove not to myself, but I also got to prove to my fans that I could actually fly the blue banner high locally and internationally as well.
The event takes place at Subrel Park in Lambasa on the 19th of next month. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
With 4 weeks to go until Christmas, the excitement of the festive season is catching on, with Digicel Fiji lighting a huge Christmas tree in Sukuna Park in Suva. A donation box has been placed at the tree, with all funds going towards the Dilkusha and St. Christopher's homes. Surrounded by a crowd of children, Minister for Tourism Fayaz Koya flicked on the switch, lighting up the display, which will last 45 days.
The generosity that Digicel has shown towards our kids that are needy, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping these children. And please, ladies and gentlemen from Suva, make sure you help all these children. These children are the children of Fiji, and they're our future.
The 12-meter high Christmas tree has been an annual fixture at the park since 2009. Sunshine, mainly clear skies and gusty winds across most of Fiji today. Nadi was the hottest at 35 degrees, while other major centres were in the low 30s, leaving Savusavu the coolest at 29. Tomorrow is expected to be much like today, some gusty winds and just a chance of afternoon showers up north and in Savusavu and Suva, and a slim chance of rain in the west. And for Saturday, it's partly to mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers. Our main stories tonight: email correspondence have sparked investigations into a plot to destabilize Fiji by assassinating government ministers. PAFCO says it's lost tons of canned tuna in the sinking of MV Sullivan, and Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has discussions regarding ACP. Time for this week's poll question. Do we need more police patrols over the festive season? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.